A warm welcome to all our viewers. I'm your host Pratiksha Mishra, and you're watching another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. India is fast emerging as a global semiconductor powerhouse with major investments, policy push, and strategic partnerships driving the transformation. New chip manufacturing plants, growing domestic capabilities, and reduced reliance on imports are reshaping the tech landscape. Backed by government initiatives and global demand, India is positioning itself at the heart of the semiconductor supply chain, signaling not just self reliance but a bold leap toward becoming a world leader in next generation technology.
The launch of India's second semiconductor plant at Sanand in Gujarat, set up by Kaynes Technology India Limited, marks a powerful shift in the country's industrial playbook. This isn't just optics, it's serious, large-scale capacity building in one of the world's most crucial tech sectors. From reviewing cutting-edge infrastructure to interacting with engineers, the Prime Minister highlighted a clear vision, making India a global electronics manufacturing hub. With rising demand, strong policy backing, and growing expertise, India isn't just catching up, it's gearing up to lead the global semiconductor race.
आज का ये दिन मेक इन इंडिया, मेक फॉर द वर्ल्ड इस मंत्र को सही मायने में चरितार्थ करता है। इस प्रोजेक्ट में प्रोडक्शन शुरू होने से भारत ग्लोबल मार्केट में एक भरोसेमंद सेमीकंडक्टर सप्लाई के रूप में अपना रोल और सशक्त कर रहा है।
Once heavily dependent on imports across sectors from telecom and defense to automobiles and consumer electronics, India is now actively reversing that reliance through strong on-ground capacity creation. By scaling up semiconductor fabrication and assembly, the country is reducing its vulnerability to global supply shocks and geopolitical uncertainties. This shift is not just about self-reliance, but resilience. The chip produced will power domestic industries while also reaching international markets, positioning India as a key player in global supply chains. In essence, India is moving from being a consumer of technology to becoming a creator and a trusted supplier on the world stage.
और आज देश का और गुजरात राज्य का दूसरा सेमीकंडक्टर प्लांट केन्स सेमिकॉन का आज फिर से प्रधानमंत्री जी ने ओपनिंग किया और साथ से साथ ये प्लांट में से ही 230 करोड़ चिप्स एवरी ईयर बनेगी। डोमेस्टिकली भी उपयोग करेंगे हम और बाहर के देशों को भी हम एक्सपोर्ट भी करेंगे।
As India's domestic chip market accelerates, the country is steadily positioning itself as a global semiconductor hub. India's semiconductor market, valued at roughly 45 to 50 billion US dollars in 2024-25, is projected to double to 100 to 110 billion US dollars by 2030, transforming the nation into a major manufacturing base and a reliable global supplier. Semiconductors today form the backbone of modern technology, powering everything from smartphones and telecommunications to automobiles, defense systems, and artificial intelligence. With a fresh allocation of 108 billion US dollars for India's Semiconductor Mission 2.0 in 2026-27, the country is taking a decisive leap, signaling to the world that India is not just participating in the tech revolution, but helping shape its future.
We have to win on quality, we have to win on cost, then only we'll be able to sustain and make that position in the entire world.
As global demand surges, India's semiconductor push is no longer just ambition. its execution at scale. With strong policy, talent, and infrastructure, India is set to redefine global supply chains and emerge as a trusted leader in the digital future.
Moving on. The human rights landscape in Bangladesh has worsened significantly, marked by increasing reports of enforced disappearances, violence against minority communities, and growing political repression. Highlighting these concerns, members of the Awami League organized a protest in Geneva to bring international focus to the alleged violations. As the country navigates a shifting political environment following the formation of a new government, uncertainty looms over its future, with the next few months likely to be critical in determining Bangladesh's political trajectory and governance framework. The human rights climate in Bangladesh has reportedly worsened in recent times, raising concerns among international observers and rights organizations. Reports suggest that political opponents and minority communities are facing increasing pressure with allegations of arbitrary detentions and mistreatment. Incidents of religious intolerance, including attacks on places of worship, have also been highlighted. Amid these developments, democratic institutions are perceived by many as coming under strain, prompting calls for greater global attention and oversight. Protesters gathered near the UN complex, holding demonstrations and shouting slogans against the current government in Bangladesh. They allege a ban on the Awami League, attacks on minority communities, and a lack of press freedom in the country. Addressing the gathering, speakers claim that since August 5, 2024, Bangladesh has witnessed widespread human rights violations, including alleged killings of political workers, journalists, intellectuals, and members of various professions.
Human rights is degrading day every day. All the people, secular people, are suffering in Bangladesh. They are jailed, they are punished, there is mob violence with all the open thinking people, all the supporters of Bangladesh Awami League, all the supporters of secular Bangladesh. So we are front of United Nations Geneva to raise our voice against the actual situation in Bangladesh, and we beg to international community to support us and raise voice against actual situation in Bangladesh. Last month there was a IWASH election. Unfortunately, BNP take the power of Bangladesh, but they are continuing the same illegal things in Bangladesh, violation against minority and violation against humanity.
They also accused authorities of carrying out detentions and custodial torture without due legal process. The protesters further alleged that major political parties, including the Awami League and other secular groups, were excluded from the electoral process.
There's a mob violence, mob lynching. There at least at that time 537 people were killed. 213 documented cases that Awami League activists and its associated organizations activists were killed. More than few thousand people were injured. 369,000 people were arrested. 124 MPs and other political leaders, including journalists, professionals, were arrested. They are not getting bail. They are arrested. Somebody were arrested without any warrant, but still they are suffering inside the prison. And the biggest party of the country, the most popular party of the country, Bangladesh Awami League, was forcefully kept from the participating election by a executive order. We came here to raise our voice against that impunity, what's going on in Bangladesh moment. There was an election that was not participatory, and the new government has come. We urge that these people who is suffering in the prison or those people who are not go to their own houses because of extortion and threat, please let them go in. And we want fair trial. We want justice.
They termed the February 12 elections divisive and lacking credibility, raising concerns over inclusivity and legitimacy. The demonstration, organized by human rights and civil society groups, called for restoring constitutional rights, democracy, and the rule of law in Bangladesh. The protest coincided with discussions at the United Nations Human Rights Council, placing the situation in a broader global context. Amid evolving political developments following the formation of the new government, Bangladesh faces an uncertain path ahead, with the coming months expected to play a crucial role in shaping its political direction and governance landscape. Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
Pakistanis felt the pinch as the government this week hiked consumer prices for diesel and petrol sharply, its second increase in less than a month, amid rising global oil prices spurred by the conflict in the Middle East. The price of diesel would be raised by 54.9% to 520.35 rupees per litre and petrol by 42.7% to 458.40 rupees per litre. Last month, the South Asian nation raised consumer prices for diesel and petrol by about 20%, citing higher oil prices driven by the US-Israeli war on Iran. The decision is likely to ripple through to higher inflation and hit Pakistan's impoverished population. Pakistan imports oil mainly from Saudi Arabia and the UAE through the Strait of Hormuz. Residents of Chiang Mai are extremely worried as heavy smog continues to cover the city, making it one of the most polluted places in the world. The thick haze is mainly caused by forest fires, crop burning, and pollution from nearby areas. Air quality has reached dangerous levels, forcing many people to stay indoors and wear masks when outside. Schools and businesses have also been affected. Health experts warn that long exposure to such polluted air can cause serious breathing problems, especially for children and the elderly. Authorities are trying to control the situation, but residents fear the problem may continue in the coming days. Dozens of tourists and locals gathered on a small river cruise in Tokyo to enjoy cherry blossom season and its peak. In Japan, this time is known as Hanami, which means flower viewing, and people visit popular spots like Uno Park to see the pink and white blossoms. While many people sit under the trees in parks, the Meguro River cruise offers a unique experience. In about 1 hour, passengers can enjoy close views of cherry blossoms along the river. The ticket costs around 5,000 yen, which is approximately 2,700 to 2,800 in Indian currency. Despite rising fuel prices, the CEO of Tokyo Waterways, Kazuyoshi Harada, said the company has not increased ticket prices, keeping the experience affordable for visitors.
And Nepal stands at a political crossroads. In a dramatic shift, newly elected rapper turned politician Balendra Shah has taken oath as the country's youngest prime minister, riding a wave of anti-corruption sentiment. But even as a new leadership promises stability, the arrest of former Premier KP Sharma Oli amid Gen Z protest has plunged the Himalayan nation into fresh uncertainty.
In a historic political transition, rapper turned politician Balendra Shah, popularly known as Balen, has assumed office as Nepal's prime minister. At just 35, Shah represents a generational shift in Nepali politics, emerging as the face of reform and anti-corruption. His party, the Rashtriya Swatantra Party, secured a sweeping mandate, winning 182 out of 275 seats, reflecting massive public discontent with traditional political forces.
Now we have finally got the youngest prime minister in the world. Hope we will not forget all his promises and will work on the behalf of people. Wish him good luck. Thank you. We trusted you. Now you should not play with our trust. We love you, Balen.
Shah's rise is also significantly geopolitically. As the first Madhesi leader to head Nepal, his leadership is being closely watched by regional stakeholders, especially India, which has signaled support for political stability in Kathmandu.
He is the youngest Nepali Prime Minister in Nepal's recent political history. And one interesting part is that he does not come from a conventional political background, neither he represents conventional political parties. By saying that he does not have any political baggages, or he is not bounded by any political ideologies. People like Balin Saha are the product of fourth industrial revolutions, so they don't have all these baggages. So he has a lot of opportunities. He can do a lot for the country, and there are there are enough. He also has enough mandate for that. Whereas the conventional political leaders, they had a lot of political baggages, and they were, they had a lot of responsibilities towards their own political parties and political cadres.
Shah's victory was fueled by the aftermath of violent Gen Z-led anti-corruption protests that rocked Nepal last September. The protests, triggered by allegations of systemic corruption and governance failure, turned deadly, leaving 76 people dead in just 2 days of unrest. Public anger against the political establishment reached a boiling point, ultimately reshaping the electoral landscape. It was this wave of anger that dismantled the dominance of legacy parties and paved the way for a political outsider to take the charge. But even as a new government takes shape, Nepal remains deeply unsettled. Former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has now been detained following recommendations from an investigative panel that held him accountable for failing to prevent the deadly crackdown on protesters. Oli's arrest has triggered fresh unrest. His supporters have taken to the streets of Kathmandu, clashing with police, burning tires, and accusing the new dispensation of political vendetta.
I think it's a both, but it's important for this government, primarily because this government is built on the Gen Z movement, and during the Gen Z protests, a lot of young people have lost their life. And Karki Commission has come up with clear, clear findings, stating that certain political leaders or officers will have to be punished. And now the responsibility falls on the shoulder of the current Prime Minister. And certainly in that regard, it becomes the accountability as well. If they don't deal with the proof, if they don't go by the report, findings of the report, perhaps a lot of people will lose the trust on the government as well.
The situation has quickly escalated into a law and order challenge. Police have resorted to tear gas and force to disperse demonstrators, with injuries and arrests reported. Oli's party has termed the arrest illegal and warned of intensified protests, raising concerns about prolonged instability at a time when Nepal can at least afford it. Nepal PM Balendra Shah faces a dual challenge, delivering on promise of reform while navigating a politically charged environment marked by protests and polarization. With public expectations high and institutional trust fragile, Nepal's immediate future hangs in the balance, caught between hope for transformation and the risk of renewed instability.
Moving on. When children move beyond toys to build machines with their own hands, the future is taking shape. In schools across Kerala in South India, students are not just reading textbooks, they are assembling robots, adding sensors and coding. AI is no longer a buzzword, it's part of everyday learning, shaping India's digital future.
Amid the misty hills of Munnar and the shimmering waves of Kochi, a new energy is stirring. Kerala's classrooms are no longer just filled with blackboards and notebooks, they now buzz with robotic kits, sensors and laptops. Students assemble rovers with their own hands, write and upload code, and the moment they give a command, their creations spring to life. Lights flicker on, sensors hum, and rovers zip through corridors, drawing wide smiles and sparkling curiosity on young faces.
I think in programming and robotics, I want to create my own things when I grow up. I am making my own stuff right now, and the camps, we have camps also, school camp, district camp, So those are really helpful. I personally have went to those camps. I think apart from the regular classes, those camps really teach us a lot.
Camps and workshops in schools are taking students far beyond textbooks. Learning is no longer just theory. Students build models, experiment, make mistakes, and then refine their creations. This hands-on approach is real learning. With AI now part of the middle and high school curriculum, children aren't just using technology, they are discovering how it's made and how it works.
When you learn robotics and AI and many other that, there are a lot of opportunities. You can get jobs and you can do projects, you can help people, you can make a better future for yourself.
The classroom environment is evolving. Learning is no longer one way. Teachers are now using AI platforms to customize questions for each student, breaking down complex topics into similar, more engaging lessons. Crucially, teachers themselves are being trained to harness AI tools effectively. In this new learning ecosystem, education is a shared journey where both students and teachers grow together.
Seeing is believing. In English, we have a very popular saying, what we see, we believe. So students, when they see all these techniques and various tools, and when they are used to that, they learn much better. Whereas a teacher's presence and time is limited. Whereas in the modern technology, when you go with the technological based learning, the students have more time there to spend with the AI according to his comfort, according to his time and according to his schedule. So that is more free to adapt for the learners.
This transformation goes beyond the classroom. Its impact is felt at home as well. Children who once played with toys are now building robots with their own hands. When a child brings a project home, the pride in the parents' eyes is not just for the creation itself, but for the bright future it represents.
All the parents will be very proud if his kids are working with this AI, because it is very important. Nowadays, I think everywhere there is AI. Everything is comes under this AI. So if my kid is a part of AI, then I must be absolutely, I will be very much proud of myself, because my kid is working in the field which is nowadays it is maybe I think in future it will be moving the nation. And if my kid is a part of it, I mean that he is also a part of the thing which is moving our nation. So I may be very much proud.
From tiny rover cars to ambitious career dreams, Kerala's classrooms are nurturing a new mindset. Here, AI is viewed not as a threat but as an opportunity. Students are realizing that the future is digital, and to thrive in it, they must not only use technology but also learn to build and create it themselves.
As classrooms evolve into innovation hubs, these young minds are gaining skills, confidence, and vision to shape India's technology-driven future. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Till then, goodbye and take care.